Hi there, and today I'm planning some Italian job minis. So I really like minis. Me and Mrs. Minifig Jez have owned 3 in our lifetime. We had a really cheap bog standard one when we were first married, and then she upgraded that to a mini Mayfair, and then more recently we had a really quite cool Cooper S. So when this set came out in 2019, which was the 1967 Mini Cooper S Rally and 2018 Mini John Cooper Works Buggy, it's quite a long title, I bought it specifically just for that really cool Mini Cooper S rally car, and it's the traditional old Austin Rover Mini rather than the new BMW Minis, but I thought it was a really cool model and a great minifig scale rendition of the Mini, and bought it just for that. I also love the Italian Job, and I'm talking about the original 1969 Italian Job, not the 2003 remake, although I do like that one as well, but the one with the original minis is obviously far superior. So I decided I would try and make the 3 Italian Job minis out of this set. So the first job was to get a copy of the Mini from that set into the studio software, and I've downloaded that from a website. I do need to split that model up as it's obviously in one big item. There we go. And first of all we need to get rid of this roof rack piece, because obviously the Italian Job minis didn't have all that on top. So if we get rid of all that, and we'll break that model down as well, get rid of all the other pieces. Now the first problem I counted is the part they're using for the roof, this piece here, that has only currently been made in white and red, so you can't currently get that in blue, so we are going to have to substitute that for something else. And behind that we had a curve there, and underneath all this there is just a few plates and things, so we can get rid of all that stuff. We don't need that, and we're not going to need that either because we can't do it in all colours. Next, let's move the screens out of the way so we can see what we're dealing with underneath. And we've got a nice little driver in there, but obviously he's going to not be needed, so we'll get rid of him as well. Now because the roof doesn't come all the way back to the back screen, they put this support piece in there as well, so I don't think we're going to need that for what we're doing, so we can bin that piece as well. And then there we're basically left with our little mini model. Now the first thing to do is to sort out this front end here. Now in the original Italian Job movie, it had its 2 headlights on each Mini, and we had 3 spotlights on the front, and this version has 4, so we need to get rid of one of those and adapt the front end ever so slightly. So what we're going to do, first we'll get rid of that one, and we're going to move that light over here, move one of those over here, and we're going to get rid of the other 2. Now this has got a specialist piece there, which we've got a 1x3 but with 2 studs in the middle, obviously to hold those lights on, but we actually want it as a 1x3 with regular studs on. So if we get rid of that piece, what we're going to do, we're just going to pop in some 1x1 plates on there like that, and then what we can do is pop these guys back on like that. And we're going to add in 2 more like that, and then we can pop our headlights back on the front of these like that. So there, now we've got our 5 lights, as you can see in the original minis from the film. The other thing I'm going to do is change these dark grey holders to light grey, just to brighten up a little bit at the front. And also, if we're pretending light grey is more of a chromy look, they'd have a chrome grille behind them, so we'll go for light grey instead of dark grey, and that sort of brightens up the front end a little bit. Next thing to do is to sort out the bonnet, and as you can see on the original, the bonnet stripes were done with stickers, but obviously I haven't got any stickers in the 3 different colours. I've only got the red ones from the original set, so we need to sort that out somehow. So what my plan was, if we get rid of that 2x2 curved slope and we move this one along slightly, and also if we get rid of that behind, if we copy that plate here and remake that black, and then copy it to the other side as well, we can do brick build bonnet stripes, which I think is a lot more satisfying than using stickers. Then because we removed that plate behind, it's always nicer to not have studs sticking up. So if we get this 1x1 tile, put that there. I'm going to do the same here and the same there. We've got 3 tiles sitting behind. And what we'll do is we can colour those 2 in black, and then the middle one obviously in red, and then those stripes are now going up onto the bonnet. And if we replace the windscreen in front of them, then that front end is looking a lot nicer. We've got our 5 lights on the front. We've got our bonnet stripes in black, which will be repeated across all the 3 different coloured minis, and our front end is looking a lot better. There's a bit of a grey stud here to help with keeping the underside together, but if we colour that in black also, that'll make that stand out a lot less. So generally we've got black underneath and then the colour above. Now inside they've got a tan interior. I may well change some of the colours of these random pieces inside to tan to try and give it a more sort of coherent interior colour, but we'll leave that for now. We want to get the main sort of structure of the Mini done. So now we need to flip round the back and see what's going on back there. Now here we've got 1 tail light, the bumper below, and of course on the original one the Mini had a sticker plate, a sticker used for the number plate. So I don't want to do that. I want to again try and do that with bricks. So what we're going to do, we're going to kill off again that 2x2 here, and using that cheese slope I'm going to copy and paste that across the back. So we've got 3 cheese slopes there rather than just the one. And then we're going to get rid of this light because we're not going to use that at all. And the tile holding it. And we're going to build this up and put a tile in the middle to be the number plate. So first across here we're going to add in a standard 1x2 jumper plate. We'll pop that there and obviously make that red so it matches the body colour. And we also need to grab that 1x1 we used around the front here. I'm going to copy that and bring it back round and flip that on its end and pop it next to it. So there we've got our jumper plate ready to hold our number plate. And that number plate is just going to be a 1x2 tile. So if we get a 1x2 tile there, again flip it on its end and pop it on there. Because of that jumper it can sit in the middle of the 3 studs that we've got available to us. And of course we are going to need to turn that black. So we've got a number plate in the middle of the back now. And then we're going to change these pieces to light grey to match the front to make it look like they are our chrome bumpers. And then we're ready to put the second windscreen back on. Like so. So now all we need is the roof, and I think we're ready to go. Now the only piece that I can find to use for the roof, which is 4 studs wide, is this one, and it's the only piece available that comes in the 3 colours, the red, the white and the blue. It's used in a lot of city vehicles as car roofs, so I thought that would be a appropriate piece to use. Not quite the same as the original one, it's slightly less curvy, a bit more square at the back here, but we've got to work with what we can find, so we're going to use that piece to start with and pop that on top of our Mini like so. So then we've got our roof, and of course that needs to be red. Now the strange thing is about the original film is that normally a Cooper or a Cooper S has a white roof and bonnet stripes, but in the film all the Coopers had their body coloured roofs, which is why I need them in red and white and blue. Otherwise I could have used the original colour from the original set, the original piece from the original set, as it is only available in white and blue, and I could put white roofs on all 3 of them, but I wanted to be as accurate to the film as I could possibly make it, so this piece will have to do for now. And then I'm going to grab 2 other pieces, which are the arch, which is on the back of the original one, and then this 2x2 plate. I'm going to grab those 2 and pop that to our Mini. Then we're going to pop those just in there. So the roof is sitting on that 2x2 being supported by the rear windscreen here, and if you look from the side, yes, you do get that slight strange bit where you've got this angular part on the roof and then the curve behind, but it's as close as I can make it, and I think that is something I'm going to have to live with. So there we are, there we have our red version of our Mini Cooper from the 1969 Italian Job film. Now I need to make a white version and a blue version. And here we have our 3 finished Minis, and if I just quickly show inside one of them, so if I take the roof off and show you what's inside, you'll see I have recoloured the sides in that tan colour, we coloured all this in light grey so it matches the steering wheel, but kept that sort of back bench seat in the dark nougat colour. Also changed some of these bricks to grey, they won't be seen under the rear windscreen, but I just thought it looked nicer in this sort of colour. So everything is now either the tan on the inside, the body colour on the outside, and if you have a look underneath, everything is black underneath. So there were a few light grey pieces poking through here, now they are all black. Give it a much more sleek look. One thing I absolutely love about this Mini is this piece here. For the front mudguards, they're actually using a Minifig meat cleaver, which is an incredible piece used there. So we'll just get rid of, put that back in place, and then we'll put all the other pieces back on, and we've got our 3 Minis ready to go. I've done a quick few renders in Studio. The software does got an incredible render engine, gives you some really realistic images. So we've got the front view of the 3 Minis and also the back view. But now I need to go into Bricklink. The wonderful thing about the Studio software is I can now transfer all these pieces directly into Bricklink and make a wanted list, and then start buying from various shops to get all the pieces I need. I know there's a few fairly rare pieces. I know this blue one here has only been available fairly recently, and a couple of other pieces in the models have only been available in certain colours fairly recently. So depending on how many sets are in, obviously lets you know how rare and how scarce that piece is, and then therefore how much it costs. But I can export all this straight into Bricklink, get a wanted list, start building that up, and then hopefully next video, or maybe the video after that, we'll be building these 3 Minis and reenacting a little scene from the Italian Job. Now the last thing before I order the parts is obviously these 3 Minis are going to need 3 drivers, and again, if you look at images from the original film, all the general crew who were stealing the gold were in blue jumpsuits with blue visors with this sort of face shield on, but the actual 3 drivers of the 3 Minis were dressed in a red jumpsuit, a white jumpsuit and a blue jumpsuit. They also had sort of crash helmets on their heads with goggles. Now I can't find a appropriate helmet piece which doesn't have a chin strap, so I've had to resort to the motorbike helmet, the more modern one, but that does happily accept a pair of goggles onto the sort of the dimples in the side of the helmet. So I've gone back to the old 80s style classic diagonal zip jumpsuit piece, and I'm going to use a red one, a white one and a blue one of those, and make up 3 little minifigs to go as our drivers. So I've got a huge amount of minifig parts here. Minifig Jez was my name. I generally have a lot of minifig bits lying around, so I can make all those 3 without having to place an order. So here are the 3 guys ready to go. They're just now waiting for their minis. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know in your comments below what you think. Are there anything I could do to improve these 3 minis? I think I've done a fairly good rendition of swapping parts out from the original Lego model and make them a little bit more like the ones in the film. But of course, obviously, please do also subscribe. It really helps the channel, and then also you'll be notified when I've done more Lego videos.